Hi guys, I'm here to do my question and answer video today. I've got all the questions that you asked me written down. They're written down in this book, and I just wanted to say before I get started, thank you so much to everybody for checking out my cousin Morgan's channel. That really meant a lot to me, and I know that it meant a lot to her as well. So just wanted to say thank you so much for that. It was really nice of you, and I really do feel so lucky to have all you guys, and I just feel really lucky, and thank you so much. So now that's done, I'm going to get started. I'm a little bit jumpy today, so I don't know if you notice that every time anything moves, or like I'll tell you a story and then you'll realise why. So if I'm a little bit jumpy in this video, it's because of something that happened to me today. So opened my curtains, that was fine. I had clothes on my radiator. My radiator is beside my back window where you can see outside my back garden. I went over to lift the clothes off the radiator to fold them and put them away, and when I looked out the window I saw a giant rat lying in my back garden. I freaked out, froze on the spot, like just staring at this rat, and I was just so freaked out. My lovely little cat had clearly caught and killed a mouse and left it whole, dead in my back garden, and I was just freaked out. He's caught mice and things before, but it didn't freak me out as much as like a giant rat. I don't know, they give me the heebies. And so now, like literally every little movement, I'm like looking about and darting about. Even earlier, like my hair was sitting there and I was like, oh, I got a fright because my hair touched me. I don't know if anybody else gets that. It's just, oh, it's so horrible. So I'm a little bit jumpy. Anyway, just end of story time and we'll jump right into the questions. I'm just going to say that I wrote the questions down, but I've not like written any answers or anything like that to the questions, because I wanted it to be as if you were asking me the questions and I was like answering them at the time kind of thing. Like I didn't want it all rehearsed kind of thing. So I didn't like, I've not thought about the answers or anything. I've just written down the questions and that's it. So I'm going to get started. The first question is from, some people have asked like more than one question, and I think that a couple of them I've asked like the same question twice, but we'll just go over them and I'll just answer them, and I'm going to be totally honest. So the first question is from the Geek Mama, and the first question she asked was, do you plan to have more kids? Well, funny you should say that, because Mark and I were just talking about that earlier today, and I know that Mark would definitely like to have more kids, and I would as well, but the problem is, it's not a problem, but I don't know, I've got a boy and a girl. I've got Alexander and Davina. There's quite an age gap between them, and the thing I like about them, there being such an age gap, my son's 6 and my daughter's 13, and that meant that I was able to have time with Davina just by myself, just, you know, like focus time on her, just her and I could focus all my time on her, and I really liked that. And so when Alexander was born, Davina was at school, so I had all that time just with Alexander as well, so he had like my undivided attention kind of thing, and I really liked that. And now Alexander, he's in primary 2 now, so if I was to have a child now, it would be ideal timing, and it would be, you know, Alexander's at school, and it would mean that I could focus all my attention on that new baby. So I like the idea of that, like having time all together and just having that sort of focused time. So yes, it would be perfect time, but you know that way, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I've got a boy, I've got a girl, we've got a 3-bedroom house. It just seems so perfect. Like, literally, I feel really lucky, like really lucky and blessed. And I don't know, I'm like, am I just, I don't know how to explain it. Am I making sense? Like, I feel really lucky, and I'm like, am I jinxing it by wanting more than that? Like, should I just be happy with what I've got because I really do think it's perfect, or should we have another one? When I think about being done with the sort of kid baby stage thing and stuff, because I mean, not that Alexander's all grown up or anything, he's 6, but you know, he's getting a little bit more grown up, and it does make me want another wee baby, I must be honest with you. So I think if I was to be honest, probably I would like one more, and I know for definite that Mark would definitely like one more. So there's it. This is going to be a long video because we're only on question 1 and already I've taken ages. So question 2, again from the Geek Mama, was, have you ever been to the US, or do you want to visit the US? Yes, I have been to the US. Same way a lot of people have been. I've been to Florida, Disney World, Universal Studios, just done the touristy thing. I think I've been 3 times. I've been as a child and once as an adult as well. And I did like it. I loved it, in fact. I mean, you know, it's literally a magical experience going to Disney World. It's lovely, I love it. But I would like to go to the US and do more, like, see what it's like to live in the US and just do ordinary things like go to Target and stuff like that. I know, like, to any of the Americans thinking like that's not a big deal. It's like us saying go to Asda or something. It's like no big deal. But I would just like to get the sort of American experience, not the touristy experience, you know what I mean? What it's really like to like live in America. I absolutely love America. I watch a lot of like American YouTubers, and even if they're just like vlogging or whatever and they just happen to show out in their garden or just outside, or I just love it. I just absolutely love it. And I really love that real southern accent. So maybe I'd go somewhere like that. I don't know, where everybody spoke with that accent. I really, really like that. So yes, I have been to the US, and yes, I would like to go back, but more, like less touristy. So number 3, I just cannot answer questions in a short way at all. Anyway, question 3 from the Geek Mama. This is her last question, and it was, what is the best and worst thing you ever got from a charity shop? I'm trying to think what the best thing is. I know there's other questions asking what the best thing is and best furniture and stuff like that, I'm sure. So maybe I'll answer this one as what is the worst thing, and then further on I'll answer what the best thing is. I know for definite, it is straight off the top of my head, I know for definite what the worst thing is, and it's a kind of weird story. Okay, so Mark was in a charity shop, and he happened to see, Alexander was quite young at the time, I think he was only a couple of months old or something, and Mark was in a charity shop, and he happened to see a Silver Cross pram, you know, the real old-fashioned proper like Silver Cross prams with like the firm hood and like the real sturdy bodies on them. It was lovely, but it was a proper old one, like really, 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 really antique one. It was absolutely gorgeous. It had some like little bits of rust and things on the wheels, and Alexander already had, you know, like a pram and a buggy and all that sort of stuff, so it wasn't like he needed it, but Mark just thought it would be absolutely gorgeous to get it, do it up, and just Alexander to have a little shot in it and maybe like sell it on or something. So that was the plan. He brought it home. I absolutely loved it as well. I really, really liked it. It was very, very old. Needed a lot of, it needed completely disinfected and everything, obviously. And like I said, it had like little bits of rust on the wheels just based on the age it was. So I was quite excited about decorating it and things. So that was fine. So we took it apart, took the body off of it so that we could sort of decorate the bottom bit and whatever, like take the rust off and stuff and clean it up. And while it was being cleaned up and while we were kind of working on it, it was in Alexander's room, not like working in function, but like in bits in Alexander's room, and that was fine. Then weird stuff started happening. Like I'm a kind of skeptical kind of person. Like I really find like the whole ghosts and spirits and stuff like that thing really super interesting, but I don't know if I believe it like 100%. Like I kind of want to, but I'm not 100% convinced, you know what I mean? So I'm not like one of these people that just easily buy into that kind of thing. Anyway, so Pram was in his room, and I started getting just this really funny feeling every time I would walk into Alexander's room, every single time. And if Alexander was crying in the middle of the night and I would get up in the middle of the night to go into his bedroom, I got this really eerie, horrible feeling that something was behind me, like a dark figure. And a couple of times I saw like a shadow pass me when there was nobody else in the house. Just really creepy. It was just really creepy. There was like a few other creepy things that happened, and it was just really spooky. And I kept saying to Mark, I didn't even think about it with anything to do with this pram thing. I just thought, oh, maybe I don't know what it was. I just got the heebie-jeebies. And I said to Mark, and he's like, oh no, I don't feel anything. No, I don't get it at all. Until one day, Mark went to go into the room, and he walked out the room, and he looked white, and he said, Diane, yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. He said, I get the exact feeling too. He said, it's like somebody standing behind you looking over your shoulder. He said, and it's not a good feeling. It was like I wouldn't be scared of a ghost or of something like that. Like I've had kind of feelings and stuff like that before, but it's not scared me. This really scared me. This was like a real dark, horrible feeling. I can't explain it, but it was so horrible. It was really dark, just a menacing kind of presence. I really didn't like it. And Mark felt it as well. And then I said, Mark, the only thing that's changed, this started happening, I started feeling this around the time when we got this pram. And he went into the room, got the pram, literally opened the back door and threw the pram outside, and he said, that pram will never come in this, that it's going to the skip, it will never come in this house again, never ever. So we've never ever bought a second-hand pram or buggy or anything like that since. It really gave me the heebie-jeebies. So that was definitely, most definitely the worst thing that we have ever bought. I didn't buy it, but Mark bought it from the charity shop. Okay, next question is from Laura B, and she's got a couple of questions, and the first one is, what is the best thing you've ever bought from a charity shop? I knew somebody else had asked that question. It's a few questions. I would probably say it's possibly a piece of furniture, maybe. Like I said, I've not really thought of any answers, but the couch that I'm sitting on here, I don't know if you can see that, it's all, absolutely love it, really old couch, absolutely love it. I've got 3-seater couch and then a chair. I'm like just looking over at it like as if you can see it pointing, yeah, over there. I've got a chair that matches it and I absolutely love it. The wood detail on it at the top is absolutely gorgeous and it's got the same kind of legs. I'll put, do you know what, I'll put a picture in, I'll get Mark to put a picture in of, because you know he does all my editing, I'll get Mark to put a picture on of what it looks like, sort of, so you can see get a better look than just that. I'll put a little, in fact, for some of the questions that maybe like I've got an answer for, I'll put little clips in. So I'll put a clip in of my couch. That is definitely one of my favourite things. I think we paid, I think it was meant to be £250, but we got them to take away the couch that we had, so that when they dropped this couch off, they picked ours up, which was kind of handy for us because it meant we didn't have to get somebody to pick up our couch. And they took like £50 off it, so we got it for £200, which seems a lot, but they sell these couches for like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds in like these fancy shops, so I was really pleased with that. I'm also just looking at a little telephone table over there that we got. I think we paid £45 for it. I will put a wee clip of that in here. I absolutely love that as well, really love it. And oh, dining room table and chairs, that has got to be a big one. It actually matches the couch. This couch is pink, it's like a kind of dusky pink colour, and my dining table is a dusky pink kind of colour and it's in leather, and I absolutely love it. The chairs of it are absolutely gorgeous. I'll put a little clip of that in as well, so they're like all my favourite things. And I think the dining table was around about £125 with the chairs, and if you see how like they're just lovely, like the woodwork and everything on them, they're just absolutely gorgeous. So I'll put a little clip of that in and show you. So next thing, have you ever bought anything very cheap that's worth a lot more? This is a question 2 from Laura B. And yes, I have bought things that were very cheap and they were worth a lot more. I bought a handbag, I bought a Guess handbag, and I think it was actually Mark that bought it, and he paid a few pounds for it, and I think they sell for like £100 or £200 or something. Oh, another big thing, these curtains here, Mark spotted these at a charity shop. They're really long and they're like really thick and lined and everything, and I knew that as soon as he got them they were like really good quality. I don't know if you can see it, but these flowers here are like pink and it really matches the suite, and then this colour green is the kind of accent colour. It's the colour of my fireplace and kind of the accent colour that I've got about my living room. So yes, bought those, £10 a pair. I've got 2 big windows in my living room, one here and one over there. So we bought 2 pairs, £10 each, so that was £20, and we decided that we were going to have them dry cleaned. So we took them to we decided we were going to have them taken up and dry cleaned, and we were told it was going to cost £100 to get them dry cleaned. Well, they weren't like particularly smelly or anything, but we decided to go ahead and get them dry cleaned. So we bought £20 cartons and spent £100 to get them dry cleaned. But the woman that was taking the cartons out, I think it was another, I don't know, £50 or something like that, or £100 for her to take the curtains up. And what she said was, she makes curtains, and she said I could not make these curtains for any less. The very least I could make these curtains for would be £800. She said these are the nicest curtains I have ever seen. She said, and I make curtains and I've seen really high quality curtains. She said, so, and these are the nicest ones. She said, so the minimum you would have paid for these curtains if you were buying them new would have been £800. So for £10 a pair, that's a pretty good deal. So even though we did spend like £100 getting them dry cleaned, it still was, you know what I mean, £800 curtains for £10 and then £100 to get them dry cleaned. Yeah, so that's it. So that was a pretty big one, I think. And Samantha Curry, thank you so much, Samantha, for all your questions. She wrote 10 questions, and her thoughts were, if nobody else asked me a question, I would have to do a video just to answer all of her questions. So thank you for that. I really appreciate that. That was nice of you. So first question is, when did you stop eating meat and why, and what brought you to your decision, and are you vegetarian or vegan? I am vegetarian at the moment, with a view to possibly being vegan sometime in the future. Mark is also vegetarian now, but my daughter is vegan. She went from vegetarian to vegan. What brought me to the decision? My daughter decided that she wanted to be vegetarian, and Mark and I had a discussion and decided that we would also be vegetarian to support her. I think eating and things is a real bonding kind of thing. Like, you know, you sit round, you're eating a meal together, you're sitting together as a family. That's like really important to me. And I thought that if we were all having different things and our things were ready at different times, we would lose out on that kind of bonding time. Like, I would lose out on that with the kids. So we decided that we were going to be vegetarian as well. Mark's trying to lose weight and things, and he thought that would be a good way to kind of lose weight and stuff as well, and watch what he was eating and stuff. And I could be using, although I'm very thin and would like to be a little bit heavier, I just am what I am, whatever. I'm not that bothered. I used to years be like, oh, I'm too thin, I hate it. I've accepted the fact that I'm what I am now. But yeah, I thought it would be a good way to kind of watch what I was eating more. I ate a lot of sweets, a lot of chocolate, a lot of things, and I thought it might make me a little bit more conscious and be a little bit healthier, but mainly to support my daughter. And also, it always kind of bothered me, like, I don't know, I always had that like little bit of guilt when I ate meat, if I'm being honest, like just that little niggle of guilt. I remember we stayed at a holiday house and we were on a farm, and I saw cows, and like there was like cows with their little calves and stuff like that, and you could tell like the little calves really loved their mothers and stuff, and I don't know, just seeing that, it made them like kind of, I don't know, like had feelings, and you realise that they had feelings. I'm not going to lecture you, I'm not the kind of person that's like going to push something on you or tell you any, like, you know, these people that are vegetarian or vegan and they tell you like horror stories. I'm not going to do that, I really am not. You know, if you want to learn about that, that's up to you. I'm not here to push anything onto anybody. But yeah, I had that in my head, and so it kind of wasn't that hard a decision to make. And the reason, like I said, Davina also from doing it has told me things, and I have learned things, especially about like cruelty free products and stuff like that. I cannot believe the amount of like high, like really well-known brands that test on animals. Like I find that ridiculous. For me to put a lipstick on, and I was totally naive and totally stupid, and thought to myself that I just thought they didn't do animal testing anymore. That's how stupid I was. I thought that's how naive or whatever I was. I just didn't think they did that anymore. I thought that was something that sort of they just didn't do anymore in this day and age, and they do it a lot, and a lot of animals die, and it's not for like medical purposes and things like that. It's for women to wear lipstick, or that to me just, knowing that now, I can't buy a product that's been tested on animals knowingly, because for me to wear lipstick, an animal has to be hurt. I don't, that's just me personally, I just don't want that. I can't handle it. Anyway, so there's so when did I stop? I can't actually remember. Several months ago. I've been vegetarian for several months now, and I must admit, I thought it would be a lot harder than it was. It's actually a lot easier than it is. Vegan is a different thing altogether. Vegan is a complete lifestyle change, that's not just I'm going to be, you need to really think about it, you know, and really commit to it, because there's so many aspects that you just don't think of. That is a real proper lifestyle change. But being vegetarian, I must say, is a lot easier than I thought it would be. Question 2 from Samantha Curry is, why did you start YouTube? I don't really know the answer to this. I so hope you guys still want to be friends with me after this. When you realise how much of a weirdo I am, I'm going to tell you this. I have what I call my bubble, and in my bubble are my very, very close friends. I don't have an awful lot of friends, but my very close friends and my family, and these people are within my bubble. Anybody out with my bubble, I don't really speak to people, to be honest with you. I have anxiety when it comes to, I can't believe I'm actually telling you this, I told you I was going to be honest. I have anxiety when it comes to talking to people, even the likes of just going into a shop and, you know, the lady at the till or the man at the till speaking to you. That gives me anxiety. I get panicky. I don't know why. I have very little confidence, like almost zero confidence. I really do. I would say it was something I struggle with, but I don't really struggle with it, because I just kind of keep myself within my little bubble, and I'm happy in my little bubble, and I'm happy, and I care about the people in my bubble so much. Like, I would literally walk over broken glass for the people in my bubble. Absolutely love them. And I wanted to do YouTube I don't know, it was like taking myself outside my comfort zone a little bit. Although I'm talking to you guys, I am pretty much just sitting in my living room by myself talking. Do you know what I mean? Talking to a camera. I'm speaking to you guys. But I'm so glad that I did do it, because it has opened me up to other people and to you guys so much more. I can't believe, like, I literally think of you guys as being my friends. Like, I really do. You know, I consider, like, I've listened to all your comments, and I love interacting with you, and I just absolutely love you guys, and I think of you as my friends. That is the honest truth. And as for, like, I read all the messages that you sent to Morgan, and that touched me so much. I cannot tell you that somebody that I would ask you to go and support her, and that you would do that for me, asking you to do that. that means so much to me. Like, it really does. It really, really does. So I'm not 100% sure why I started YouTube, but I am so glad that I did. Question 3 from Samantha Curry is, how do you spend your time when the kids are sleeping? I would like to say something really interesting and have something like really fun to say, but really we don't really do a whole load of exciting stuff. Mark and I, we like to talk, just like literally just sit and talk. We don't watch the telly. Hardly ever do we watch the telly. I can't remember the last time that I watched the telly. I'm just not, I don't know, I'm just not a like sit down and watch the telly kind of person. Sometimes what we will do is we'll lie in bed and on the laptop we'll watch like spooky things. What's the one? Paranormal Witness, I think it's called. Programs like that. We like kind of spooky, creepy programs like that. Sometimes we'll lie in bed and watch that. Yeah, we read. We just chat, basically. We just like talk to each other. Like, we kind of hang out in our bedroom quite a lot at night time. Once we've got the kids to bed and like, you know, Alexander's had his stories and, you know, all that sort of stuff, we'll just sit and talk. Like, I'll maybe be painting my nails and he'll be sitting chatting to me, or just pretty much that. We just chat kind of thing. Very, very, very occasionally, about maybe 2 or 3 times a year, we actually go for a night out and socialise with friends. Like I said, my little close-knit group of friends. Very occasionally we will go for a night out, but it really is very occasionally. Question 4 from Samantha Curry is, beach or countryside? Both. I like both. If it's really hot, like really proper hot sunny day, I think being at the beach is amazing. Like, there's nothing better than being at the beach on a really properly hot sunny day. We're actually going away. I didn't tell you guys that, I forgot to mention it, but this is Saturday when I'm filming this. I'm not sure if it's going to be getting put up on the Saturday or the Sunday. I'm just looking at, I have been talking for a ridiculous amount of time. Yes, I'm not sure when this is going to go up, because this is sort of late on Saturday night, so I'm not sure whether it's going to be Saturday or Sunday, but not this Saturday. That is, see, dribble, no wonder it's long. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday, myself and the kids are going away. We go away every October to a little cottage, not the same one, we go to different cottages, holiday cottages, and we go with my aunt and uncle. It's actually my great aunt and uncle, and it's my children's great great aunt. So it's like my mum's aunt, so they're sort of older, and they take us away. They have done it for years and years and years. Mark usually has to work, so he doesn't usually get to go. He's still not going this time, but he's actually taken a few days off so that he can so the door is not alone for too long or whatever. So he's going to be relaxing as well at home, and we are going away with them. We do it every October for about a week, so we're doing that, and it is right on the beach, like literally on the beach, but it's October and it's kind of, we probably will go over and sort of paddle in the sea a little bit just for fun, meet the kids and I. It's kind of too cold to really enjoy the beach, so in that instance probably countryside. We're also quite near the countryside because we're going horse riding. And yeah, so if it's hot, beach. If it's not, countryside. Long answers to every question. Question 5 from Samantha Curry again is, what do you enjoy watching on YouTube? I like watching haul videos. I like making haul videos. I like watching haul videos as well. I also like watching like real people. I don't like watching people that are, hi guys, welcome to my channel, and today we're going to have, like, as if they're a TV presenter or something. I don't like if I wanted to watch a TV presenter or something, I would watch the telly. I watch YouTube to watch real people being honest and being open and just being real. So anybody that's like real, but I do like watching haul videos. Let me see. I like watching just sort of vlogs as well, just ordinary everyday life. Like I said, just people being real. Anybody that's like real. I don't like the presentery type thing. I would watch telly for that. Question 6, again from Samantha Curry, is 3 things you recommend for someone starting on YouTube. Well, I am not the best person to ask this, because I literally, like I said, I'm a really private person, really like bubble, and that's it. I'm the only person that I know that doesn't have Facebook or anything like that. I don't have Instagram, or I'm trying to think of the other ones. I don't know, Pinterest, or Snapchat, or any of these things. You can tell I don't have them. I can hardly even think of the name of them, but I don't have anything like that. And I think that if I've heard people giving advice for people starting on YouTube, and it is basically, like, the more social media platforms you've got, the better, because people can like find out about you through things like that, and you know, come to your channel from that sort of thing. That's not why I get in it. If I don't want, like, not that I don't want anybody that wants to join me here, then brilliant, and it's so nice to have all you guys, but to me it's about quality and not quantity. There's people that have got millions of subscribers, but I really feel like I've got the best subscribers out there, so it doesn't matter to me that I don't have, you know, hundreds of thousands or, you know, millions of subscribers. I don't care. I am perfectly happy, and I'm happy just to have you guys. I'm so happy with that. So I'm not the best person to ask. If you're doing YouTube to, you know, really get yourself out there and get your channel noticed and stuff like that, I'm not the best person to ask. Probably like have as many social media things. Probably I don't. I literally just have YouTube. So yeah, that would be my advice. Would be yourself and make the videos that you like making. For example, an example of that would be, I think the first video I ever put up on YouTube was a TK Maxx haul. I had gone with some birthday money and bought a whole load of stuff, and that was my first ever video. And the second video I ever did was a charity shop haul, and it didn't get very many views, it didn't get comments, thumbs up or whatever, nobody seemed to like it. It just sort of sat for ages, nobody was watching it, it wasn't, you know, very good or whatever. It wasn't a particularly brilliant video or anything, but if I was going by that, I probably would never have done a charity shop video, because I remember thinking at the time, oh, that's such a shame, because I would really like to have done charity shop hauls, because as you know, I love charity shops. And I thought, oh, that's a shame, nobody wants to watch that. And then I thought, do you know what? I'm going to just put it up. I really enjoy going to charity shops. I'm just going to share it. And now they're probably my most like favourite videos from you guys. It seems to be, you know, it's the ones that you always comment on and things like that, and you say that you really like. So if I was to have gone by views and whatever at the time, I would never have done another charity shop haul again, and I really enjoy doing them, and I hope that you guys really do. You seem to really enjoy it as well. So, you know, I wouldn't have done that. So don't bother too much about what other people think or views or whatever. Just do what you love doing and what you enjoy doing. That would be my advice. Okay, where am I? Question 7. What videos do you enjoy making the most? Well, the videos I enjoy making the most are probably, I actually really like doing the TK Maxx hauls. I think I've done maybe like 2 or 3 of them possibly. I really love going to TK Maxx. It's got such a wide selection of stuff, you know, like home stuff, beauty, all that kind of thing. They sell lovely handbags, so I like that. But I don't know, possibly the charity shop hauls. I really like the TK Maxx hauls. I'm actually weirdly kind of enjoying doing this video. This is the first time I've done like, you know, like a question and answer, sit down, and like, I'm enjoying doing this. But probably I would have to say haul videos. Probably I like sharing things with you and showing them and seeing what you think of them and stuff. So probably that. Number 8. If you were stranded on a desert island, what 3 things would you take? First one would be some sort of juice, like a supply of juice, because I can't stand drinking water. I know it's like crazy good for you and gives you good skin and hair and all the benefits, but I hate drinking water. Even if it was diluting juice, I would settle for that, because I prefer fizzy juice, but I would settle for that. I will just show you because I've literally got it here. I drink, not sponsored or anything, Lipton's iced tea. I prefer the raspberry, but this one's the lemon, and I drink this all the time. That is like my drink of choice. That's not fizzy. If I'm drinking some sort of fizzy juice, it'd be like Fanta or something like that. But I hate drinking water. Hate it. So probably iced tea. I would bring like iced tea with me. And second thing would be chocolate, some sort of sweets, like kiddie sweets and chocolate. I definitely couldn't go without sweets. And coconuts and stuff on a desert island just wouldn't cut it. It would have to be proper sweets. So thing number 2, sweets. Thing number 3 would probably be some sort of storage things. I love like storage bins, baskets, anything you can put stuff in and organise stuff in. I love it. So even if I'm stuck on a desert island all by myself, I'd still want to organise stuff. Like I'd have my leaves for my like shelter all organised in different baskets, and so some sort of storage basket. Number 9 is, this is more of a request, but can you still answer it? Please can we see your cupboard of oddities? Yes, you can see the cupboard of oddities. It really is nothing fancy. It is literally a cabinet that is filled with weird things that we pick up. I really like weird, unusual things, and so does Mark, and it's literally just filled with that. And to anybody else that doesn't know what's in it or doesn't get it, it just looks like a cupboard of junk basically, and it is situated in my living room, but I love it, and I'll put a little clip in here of what it looks like. And next question is, let me see. Oh, this is the last question from Samantha Curry, and it is, this is for Mark. Do you enjoy buying things from charity shops? I asked him that. He said yes, absolutely. But I will tell you this, Mark had never been in a charity shop before he met me. Never been in a charity shop, never been to a car boot sale, nothing like that. Had never stepped foot in a charity shop, had never even thought about it. So yes, he does enjoy it, but I kind of got him into it, so yes, he does enjoy it. I did ask him that and he did tell me. And it says, what is your favourite item you have bought for Diane? And his first answer were the heeled boots that he just bought me, you know, the ones with the eagle on the front. But his favourite thing are probably, I know that he said this, he said, is it favourite thing you bought for me? This wasn't technically bought for me, but I know that this is one of his favourite things, and that would be, I'm looking at them now, they're above my fireplace, and they're really, really plain, but I really love them as well. They're like wall sconces. They're basically just like rectangle sort of, they're like beveled. I'll put a clip of them in just now. That's probably one of his favourite, like simplest things, but one of his favourite things that he's bought. It was more for the house than for me, but I know that that's his favourite. And also he said the suite as well, so the couch that I'm sitting on is his favourite thing as well. That was one of his finds. He spotted it, took a picture of it, said, do you want it? I said yes, and he went and bought it for us. So next question is from, she's asked 2 questions, and this is from Katie, it's Katie Wibble. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. I'm so bad at pronouncing stuff, as you know. Question 1 is, how do you organise your clothes / what is your closet like? It's probably going to disappoint you. Again, it's really nothing fancy. I just have like sliding, I have a fitted wardrobe thing, it's like sliding mirror doors. Nothing fancy at all. It's just nothing fancy. I'll show you, I will put a little clip of it in here and you will see, you'll be disappointed. It's nothing fancy. I'll put a clip of my wardrobe in here. And on another video, I just bought Mark just bought a big massive dresser, and it's got like 3 big drawers in it. So, well, it's got 2 drawers in the top and then 2 big drawers underneath it. And in that, just to tell you how I organise it, this is probably really boring. Top drawer, I have pants and socks and bras. Next little drawer, so it's like in 2 parts. If you watch the clip of me, I think it's like DIY Antique to Shabby Chic, you'll see like the dresser I'm talking about. So in that a little one, I've got underwear basically, and in another one I've got vest tops, and then the one down from that I've got all my pyjamas and like pyjama socks and all that kind of thing, and then in the one under that I have all my jeans, my leggings and tracksuit bottoms, and I also have a little pile of like shorts and mini skirts because they just take up so much room hanging them up, and they're just so awkward to hang up. So that's what I have in the dressers, and I have everything else in my wardrobe. And how I keep it organised is, you must see the amount of stuff that I buy and you must think she must have some sort of hoarder house, but I really don't. I am super organised. Like I said, I like to organise everything, and I can't stand clutter. I go through everything all the time. I'm a person that gets really, really bored with stuff. I do have stuff that I love that stays, you know, and I don't ever get rid of, but I get bored really easily, and I literally go through my wardrobe, drawers, everything all the time. I constantly have cleared outs and donate stuff to charity, and sometimes I sell stuff. I did a car boot sale, I told you, and I just get rid of stuff all the time, basically just clear out all the time. If I didn't, I would literally be piled up to here, like climbing over stuff, because you see the amount of stuff that comes in. If I didn't have stuff to go out, then we would be in a terrible mess. Also, we bought this house only, was it 2 years ago? 3 years ago now? I think it might be 3 years this October. This is October. I think it might be 3 years, I'm not sure. And before we stayed here, see if you ever want to know the story of our nightmare of where we came from to where we are now. Like, we had neighbours from hell. I am not kidding you. That would be a whole video by itself. I mean, neighbours from hell. Anyway, we moved out of that place in a hurry, and before we bought this place, we moved in with my mum. I was determined I wasn't putting anything in storage because I was not paying hundreds of pounds to put all my stuff in storage. So I literally got rid of everything I had. Our suite, our furniture, our everything. We kept a few boxes and things stored in my mum's loft. Other than that, we literally get rid of everything. So although we buy a lot of house stuff and that, it's not like we had a house like full to the brim of stuff and then we're buying stuff. We're still kind of putting things in and getting things the way we want them, kind of thing. You know, do you know what I mean? It's not like we've had this house for years and it's like jam packed. When I started doing videos, and still now, I'm still getting things in place and still getting things the way I want them, and like I said, we get rid of a lot of stuff, so we're not like got Am I making sense? Like, I've not got a full house full of stuff and then I'm buying more stuff. We literally had nothing when we moved in here, kind of thing, because I'd get rid of it all. So we kind of had to start again and buy a whole lot of stuff. And I decided to do a lot of that. And I mean a lot of that through getting stuff from the charity shop. Just because, not just to save money, but because that's the stuff I like. I like old stuff. I don't really like modern things. And charity shop's the perfect place to get it. So where am I? That was a long answer for what's your closet like. Anyway, yeah, put the clip in. Question 2 is, how long have you been shopping in charity shops? A long time, years. My gran lives in a little village in England, and there's carpet sales there. They're like, that's what they do. There's like hardly anything to do, and everybody goes to carpet sales. In the summer, everybody goes to carpet sales on a Sunday. And my mum and my gran and the rest of my family used to go, and I never used to go. I used to be embarrassed, to be honest with you. I don't know, a little bit stuck up maybe, or I don't know, you know, when you're younger and you think, oh, I'm not going to carpet sale. I kind of was like that, and I could literally just slap myself for being like that, because I missed out on so much stuff. I didn't like it. I thought, oh no, there won't be anything good there, and oh no, I don't like it, and I thought it was kind of junk, and I didn't really like it. And then, I don't know, I think maybe my mum or something took me into a charity shop, or I went to a carpet sale, and then realised that they had weird stuff, and that attracted me. I love weird stuff, as you know, and there's no shop in the world, there's no like shop in the world that you can go into, like a charity shop or like a carpet sale, that just has that selection of stuff, like real proper weird stuff. Like, you will get things in there that you wouldn't find it anywhere else, you know, real unique things and really weird things. And again, I started falling in love with old stuff and old furniture and stuff like that, so that made me go even more. So I've been going for a very long time. Next question is from Kelly Harvey, and it is, what is your favourite home piece you or Mark have? And like I said, probably my suite and my dining table. I think that's probably there's other little pieces as well that I really like, but they're probably on the sideboard in my hall. In that DIY to Shabby Chic video as well, I showed like I did a little haul tour thing, and I showed like a sideboard in my hall, and that's one of my favourite things as well. I really like that. And question number 2 from Kelly Harvey is, what do you think is your best bargain you have? Probably the curtains are probably the best bargain, like money wise, like that's probably something that's worth like a lot. But best bargain for me is probably the couch. Absolutely, for the amount that I love it and the amount that I paid for it, yeah, it's probably the best bargain. I really do love it. Question 2 is, question 3 is, do you prefer going to the charity shops yourself or having it done for you? I know it seems really weird to some people that Mark goes and like buys me stuff and I don't do it myself. I do really, really like the fact that Mark goes and gets me stuff, because he picks me up stuff that I wouldn't. I mean, sometimes it's a miss. Sometimes he picks me up stuff and I don't like it, like that white dress from the last time. But in general, he picks me up stuff that maybe I wouldn't have looked at myself, but I end up really liking. So for that reason, it's really nice. And it's always really nice to get presents, and it's kind of like getting a present. It's like Christmas every time he comes in with like a big haul of stuff to show me. So it's really exciting and I really like it. But you can't beat a good rummage yourself, like having a good look yourself. When I went with my mum and my aunt and my cousin, I really enjoyed it. Like, I really enjoyed going and looking myself. So I don't think I have a preference. I like both. Probably, I don't know. I do like having a rummage, but then I do like getting presents. 50-50, we'll say. Okay, and question 4 as well from Kelly Harvey is, what made you start doing haul videos? Like I said, just did YouTube as a sort of way of kind of challenging myself, sort of thing. And also, you know, when you buy something and you want to share it with people, and like I'll show Mark and he'll be like, yeah, that's really nice, and I'll show Davina and she'll be like, yeah, that's nice, and you're like, I want to show, I don't know, I want more than that, like I want to show somebody else. Kind of for that reason, like I wanted somebody to share the things that I got with, and so I share those things with you guys, so probably that. And the next questions, we're nearly at the end. I think we've got 3 more questions left. Next question is from Heather Masters, and it is, what is/was your job, as I think you'd make a great interior designer if you're not one already. That is so sweet. That is really, really nice. What a lovely thing to say, and a huge compliment. Thank you. And I do not work at the moment. I know there will be people that will be like, why don't you work? And feminists that will be like, oh, that's terrible. I am a homemaker, housewife, I don't know what you want to call it. I was a stay-at-home mum, but like I said, my son's now in primary 2, so not technically a stay-at-home mum now. Technically, probably would be classed as a homemaker. I know the word housewife really riles people, but that's my choice. We're not in the 1920s or something now. Like, I'm not forced into this situation where I have to stay at home and I have to clean the house and I have to make, you know, like a nice home for my family. I do that because that's what works for us. That's what I want to do. Mark is really happy with me doing that. He likes that. He wants me to be at home. I want to be at home. If he wanted, it's not, like I said, it's not the 1920s. He's not saying you will not work and you will not do that. It's my choice. At the end of the day, it's my choice. If I wanted to go out and go to work, Mark would support me in that. But I choose not to. I choose to stay at home. I choose to look after our home. It's what I enjoy doing. I love doing it. That's where my joy comes from. I'm a very happy and contented person, and I love being at home. I love making my home nice and everything for my family. That is what I enjoy doing. I know not my guys, but I know there will be people that watch that will be horrified at that, but that is what works for us. And the way I see it is live and let live. If somebody's doing something and they're not, it might not be what your choice would be, but if they're not hurting anyone and that works for them and they're happy, then just live and let live. That is my choice, and I am very happy doing it. Hi guys, I'm just adding this little clip in because I've actually just started taking my makeup off. I finished filming, I thought the video was done, and then I just realised that Heather Masters had asked me the question, was your job? As I think you'd make a great interior designer if you're not one already. And I just realised that I went on such a rant about being a homemaker that I never actually answered what my job was when I did work. Funny you should say about being an interior designer, because a few years ago I'm definitely not an interior designer, but a few years ago I went to one of these like psychic night things where you like have a meal and then you go and speak to a psychic or whatever, and the psychic actually said you'll do something to do with interior design in the future. So it's funny you should say that. Anyway, just thought I'd add that in. Yes, I used to look after elderly people in a nursing home. I had a sort of residential residential section and then a nursing section, and that was to look after people that were really quite poorly, sort of at the end of their life sort of thing, and to make them comfortable and happy and, you know, just sort of care for them basically. That is what I did for a living. It's something that weirdly I had, since leaving school, I had wanted to do, and I did that, and I really enjoyed doing it. I loved working with the people, and I loved, if I could just put a smile on their face, it would like make my day worthwhile. I just absolutely loved it. I really enjoyed it. So that is what I did. I looked after them coming towards the sort of end of their life thing, and also I don't know if this is morbid to put this in, I don't know, but I'll tell you the truth, this is what I did. I cared for them when they were alive, and when there was only certain members of staff that were able to do that, because some people, I know that like they can't deal with that sort of thing, but when they passed away, I would also prepare their bodies and things to be, is this too morbid? I'm sorry, I don't want to make anybody miserable. I would also prepare their bodies and things for their families to come and see them, or for people, you know, the people that come and collect them and take them to the funeral directors and things. I would prepare their bodies basically, which seems really sad to people, but, and it was sad, obviously, you know, I'd looked after these people when they were alive, and it is a sad thing to do. And I was very young when I started doing it. It's something that I felt was important. I remember going to see my grandfather, and he had passed away, and they'd made him look very peaceful and, you know, like really nice, and it was a comforting feeling. I remember, I think I was 11 when I went to see him, and it was like a comforting feeling knowing that when I saw him he did look peaceful and he did look nice. So I don't know, I kind of saw that as my job, to do that and make the person look as nice and everything as I possibly could for their families and stuff. I don't know. So yeah, that was a big long morbid thing, but I just realised that I went in such a rant, I didn't answer that question properly, and I told you that I was going to be really honest and answer the questions honestly. So that is what I did. I cared for elderly people. That was my job. So sorry I forgot to put that in at the time, but I'm putting it in now, so bye. So question 2 is, if you could visit any place in the world, where would you go? My favourite place in the entire world, not to visit necessarily, like, I don't know if you mean like somewhere that I haven't been, but if it was like my favourite place in the world ever is where my gran stays. She stays in a little village in England, and that is my favourite place in the entire world. My kids love it there. Mark absolutely loves it there. Mark is just absolutely in love with my gran. He absolutely loves her to bits, like thinks a world of her. We just love being in her company. We just love her to bits basically, and we just love being there. I have cousins as well that are triplets that stay there. We love visiting them, and my aunt and uncle, and we just love going and visiting them, and we love the place that they stay. It's just such a lovely village. So if it's like favourite place in the world ever, it would be that. But if it's somewhere that I've not been, would probably be somewhere in America, somewhere like less touristy, like I said before, somewhere that I've not been in America. So I'm not sure where. I don't have like a specific place, but America. And the very last question is from Julie Wilkinson, and it says, what is the nicest thing Mark has ever done for you? Ooh, this is a tough one. I'm just 42 minutes this video is. Oh my goodness, you're probably bored to tears. Nicest thing Mark's ever done for me. I'm not struggling because he doesn't do nice things. I'm struggling because he literally does nice things all the time. Mark is like he's a very, very, very considerate man. Like no other man I've ever met, to be honest with you. He really thinks about your feelings. He really thinks about things that you would like, and he does nice stuff pretty much all the time. Like if you're going for a shower, he'll lay your jammies out for you when you're coming out. If you've been like busy doing something, he'll be like, come on, I'll give you a nice massage. And he's just a really nice, considerate guy. He is, however, not a nice guy. I don't like these guys that are like, ooh, sickly, nice, sweet. I don't like that. I don't want, like, he's fierce when he needs to be, you know what I mean? He's like a protector of his family, and he would like, I don't want to make him out to be this like soppy nice guy. Although he is a nice guy, you know, he's like, he does what he needs to do. He's like, protects his family, and you know what I mean? He's not like, I'm making him sound like a kind of soppy wuss, and I don't want to do that because that's definitely not him. He's a feisty kind of guy, but I don't mean feisty. I know what I mean. Like, he's not like, you know what I mean? He's not like a wussy type guy. I don't like that. So I know he's sweet and considerate. He's not sickly, if you know what I mean. Probably the nicest thing I can think of off the top of my head would be, like I said, we go on holiday with my aunt and uncle, and the kids and I think it was before Alexander was born. I think it was Davina and I were on holiday with my aunt and uncle, and Mark decided he was going to decorate the house for us coming back, which was really sweet, but Mark didn't have a clue about decorating. Like, he literally was not handy in that way at all. He is now, but wasn't at the time. And he decided to put wallpaper up in the bedroom. He painted the kitchen, did all sorts of things, but one of the things was he went to put wallpaper up in the bedroom, and then realised that it was a lot harder than it looked, and he had to take it all down. He basically papered the bedroom and then had to strip it all. And I think it must have been before the days that we had the internet, and he had to go to the library, and he read up on how to decorate. Basically, he read a thing that taught you how to wallpaper, and he took this book out and he studied this book, and he figured out how to do it, and he decorated our bedroom and papered it. And I don't know, just the fact that he did it in the first place was really nice, but the fact that he learned how to do it and make it nice and everything, it was just really, really sweet. So that is probably one of the nicest things. But he really does nice things all the time. Like, say I go to the shops with my mum or something, and I'll come in and he'll have, you know, tidied up and lit candles and made it all nice, and he just does nice things all the time. But excuse me, sorry, but that's probably the nicest thing he's ever done. We're done. You can go. I'll let you go. It's only been, what, 45 minutes? I'm really, really sorry. Some people really don't like the long videos at all, but I know that some of you guys have said that you do like the long videos because you can have a cup of coffee and chill out and watch the videos. So I hope you're going to enjoy this at 45 minutes long. I just want to say thank you so much to everybody that asked questions, and thank you so much to all my subscribers. I really genuinely just think the world of you and feel so grateful just to have you. So thank you so much, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!